Are we ready?
Mm-hmm. Do we need to clap?
No.
You have advanced technology.
Well, sometimes. Okay, here we go.
I just clapped. Hey everybody, it's Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren.
my mer gal pal, and this is
Nerdmaid Faith.
Yay! You're listening to the Everyday Mermaid Podcast.
Welcome back.
Oh my goodness, it's your second time here on the
Yes.
podcast. I'm so thrilled.
And you guys have upgraded. I recall last time I was like with a little karaoke mic or something.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. We have since the new mics
Yes,
came in.
and we have Mermagicon and
Yeah.
Metro Merfolk and Casey from Mermaid Cove Collective to thank for these microphones.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Thank you all.
Microphone.
Okay, Faith. You surprised us all here. We're here at Mermagicon.
Hey.
I was told
Repeatedly.
that you were A, not able to come into America,
Repeatedly.
and B, that you were not attending this weekend.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
How did this happen?
Well, okay, so
She's a sneaky fish.
back in August, I was given the unfortunate news that apparently doing voluntary work in the States is not allowed.
She's Canadian, for those of you
Yeah,
who don't
I'm
yes.
from Canada, and so I was going to the States all last year, which is why I was able to meet these two
Yes.
while I was on tour. And then I went to do it again, and they said, nope. So,
Oh my
thanks,
gosh.
America. And so since then, my passport's been flagged, and every time I go over the border, they send me into the room of shame. That
Oh,
says,
no.
who are you? What are you doing? Why are you here? Go away. I've had some success more than others, but I was still a little afraid to be flying solo by myself.
Yeah.
With a lot of luggage. And then there was that whole plane crash in Iraq that was filled with Canadians, some of whom were in my community. So it kind of, and that was right at the time that I was planning on like purchasing tickets. So I got super spooked. Yeah. And then, so I said, okay, I just will make the decision not to go. And then, and I also was like, I don't know if I can afford it at this point.
Right.
And then a very, very, very generous benefactor about 5 or 6 weeks ago, Mermaid Evangeline on Instagram, also known as Tom Cardwell, said, are you physically able to go? And I said, yes, if I can get a Friday off, but I can't afford it at this point. And they said, no, you're going.
Oh,
So
my gosh.
my flight was sponsored.
Oh,
All
my gosh.
the way from, I flew in from Seattle to here. And Justine, who's in the room, the mermaid seamstress, I said, okay, listen, I might be able to go. Can you please help me? And she said, oh, yes, I can.
Oh, yes. And we just had Justine on the podcast, and she did not mention a thing about them. We talked about you a lot.
knew.
She is
She
also
knew.
a sneaky fish.
You are the sneakiest of the fishes.
I also just live for the drama of it all.
Of course.
I love the excitement. And just by, like, if in case anything went wrong, I didn't want to, like, leave a bunch of people disappointed anyways.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I hope that I can get the footage of this video of you surprising us because Justine was like, Abby, I have a surprise for you. I was like, Justine's the mermaid seamstress. I hope she made me something beautiful. and I'm not feeling well, which is why my voice sounds this way. And so we were late to get there in the morning or whatever. So it took us a minute. And so we walk in and I see Justine and she's standing there and I'm like, huh, okay. All right. She's going to hand me this beautifully handmade something. And then, Faith pops out.
Oh, no. That is not how it happened.
Oh, tell the story
we
then.
saw Justine there. I grabbed your arm and started whispering, oh my words I can't say on this podcast. She brought Nerdmaid.
No, and
but you're deaf right now.
I
because
can't
you
hear
have
anything.
all the congestion.
ears
So
are
you just kept
clogged.
going, what?
And I could see you being like,
Yes. So
And
I
I
had
was
her
just
purple
giggling.
little jacketed arm and I kept shaking her. And
Like,
then
I don't know what you're saying
and
to me.
then Nerdmaid popped.
And then Nerdmaid popped
Yeah.
out. And I lost my you-know-what, friend. I lost
She lost
it.
her ship.
Oh my gosh. I was so happy. Because, like, what, did we meet? Yes, we officially, like, met at Mermaid
Yeah, but it was
last year.
super awkward and terrible.
Right. So,
Okay,
like,
tell that story.
Well, I was just kind of like Naruto ran towards you because I saw you and I was like, hi. And I was all like gremlin and
you
was
were, like, going live at the moment. with
yeah, I
your-
was also live too.
Yeah.
And I was like, hi, you're tall. I'm Faith. No, I'll be gone now.
No, it was the most magical meeting. And this is our, like, our friend anniversary or whatever,
That's
So,
true.
No. So it was just glorious. I'm so glad you got to come.
Yes,
It
me
makes me
too.
so excited.
You had the biggest reaction. Like I was
did.
anticipating a lot of people to freak out, but I was like, I'm not gonna make anything public on the internet until I see Abby and
Oh my gosh.
film her reaction. And I got so many like hilarious people. I had like a young girl like come up and be like, oh my gosh, and yeah, I like, oh man, I'll need to look through all my footage, but yeah, there's people be like, you what?
Yeah.
And people be like, I hate you. So it was good all around, and it was exactly what I wanted to happen.
Yeah. Mission accomplished for sure.
Well, and that was probably the longest we saw you stay in one place all weekend. From that moment on, you were every which way.
Well, I was in the pool for 4 hours today, so
Oh my gosh.
that
yeah.
happened.
What were you doing?
Well, I started out by I saw the little live fuzzy tail thing, which was a thing.
yes.
we talked about that a little bit.
Okay, great. And then I got into my Shop Vancouver Mermaid Tail and did round 2 of the Merlympics, and I crushed it.
Yes,
Of course. And I went noom. And then I slithered into my silicone tail and hopped in the dive well because I was like, well, I brought this.
Yeah, I saw you
have
swim
to.
in that.
So I slithered around in that for a while, which was very fun.
Yep.
And yeah, people were just excited to see it. And I took a very wonderful group photo of the Mermaid Amathea tails,
Oh, okay.
all one of them.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And then
Yes.
I took a group
that was
photo.
the even better photo then.
Yes. Oh, honk. And I took a group photo with the Canadian pod, which was fun. And we sang "O Canada," and it was very lovely.
Are there a lot of Canadian mermaids?
I think there were 6 of us.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, me and then 5 from Ontario, and Aqua Mermaid too.
Right.
She like saw us and was like, she's like, wait, let me get in this. We're like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, she came in with like a suitcase with Canada on it and everything.
Yeah, well, she's like Mrs. Worldwide.
yes,
That's
of
the
course,
thing.
of course, yes.
And then after that, I did Merlympics round 2, and I didn't have enough time to get into my Shop Vancouver Mermaid Tail, into the Merlympics finals, and then back into my silicone tail for this Singapore Mermaids class.
Oh yeah.
So I did round 2 in my silicone tail.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, my times weren't quite as good because
Right.
I was
because of
in the
silicone.
beast.
Yes.
And
But you looked fabulous, I
oh
imagine.
yes, I'm
darling.
sure. And then yeah, I popped over into the Singapore Mermaids class, and it was beautiful and wonderful. But by
yes.
this point, I was like,
Oh no.
because I'd just been like sprinting, swimming, talking, sprinting, and then like now to be graceful and beautiful. But Kara commented on my swimming, and I was like,
Oh,
thank you.
she's so nice.
Yeah, so that was good, and that's where I was for 4 hours this afternoon.
I'm exhausted.
Can we go to bed now?
Yeah, I'm okay. All done.
You're done.
I'm the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are. I'm amazed.
You're also 21.
Right.
That's true.
Which meant I
could go to the gala this year.
Yes. You went to.
Yes.
What'd you think of the gala?
It was fun. It was fun. I tried for the first time what's it called, Hawaiian Blue?
Oh,
Sure.
The mermaid drink.
Yeah, the mermaid drink. It was good. I liked it.
Okay. Do you know what was in it?
No.
Sugar.
Probably
a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
delicious. Oh, so exciting! Yeah, last year you had to. You just stood there and watched everyone go in.
I got a nice time lapse.
Yeah. It's all about the content, people. It's all
Indeed.
about the content.
Indeed. And you looked lovely. And it actually looked like you and Mermaid Seamstress had coordinated
And we
outfits,
didn't,
actually.
but it was
Yes.
great.
Yes, and your beautiful blues. I loved it.
It was my old prom dress that I bought specifically to be slightly mermaidy, so that if I ever went to a mermaid convention and a mermaid gala, I could wear it.
That's the thing. Yes, that's kind of my mindset as well, except mine is, will this look good underwater? Yes or no? That's my, yeah.
I actually think the other purple one that you brought would look really good underwater.
What?
The one you didn't wear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had 2 dresses in case, you know.
Yeah. I had 2 just for costume change purposes.
Oh my gosh.
So that I could
yes.
dance.
Of course. Be prepared. Yes, it's the number 1 rule when going to a Magic Con.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you've been up to mermaid-wise. A lot has happened, so you can tell us.
Yeah.
Between last year or our last podcast to now, like, man, I feel like so much has changed.
Oh, my fins. Okay.
Yes. What's going on in
What
the
happened? Well, was it, I guess, Mermagic Con, and then like 2 weeks later, I was in Nashville. And then I finished up my tour. I went to Alexander Springs, which was beautiful.
Yes.
I swam in a baptismal, which was beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I remember the baptismal.
Yes.
Highlight of my mermaid career.
I think we talked about it on the podcast.
We did. Well, and I
It
titled
was so good.
I titled that podcast Faith in the Baptism.
Faith in the Baptistry.
In the baptistry.
So good.
And multiple people have told me that before they like knew who we were or whatever, they would listen to that one first because they thought we were like, you know, uber conservative religious people. And so they listened to it and realized that was not quite the case.
No, it was
not.
being
the
very
name of the
sacrilegious.
podcast didn't tip them off.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh, man.
so anyway, that I thought that was funny.
That is amusing.
Faith in the Baptistry. Oh,
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
After the baptistry, I went back to Canada and I had my 21st birthday and I got a new Shop Vancouver mermaid tail.
Who also provided
Yeah.
these
yes.
lovely, what do we call them? Bracers?
She's not sponsored, but I'm here and I
Not
can
sponsored.
just spiritually sponsor this podcast
Why, thank you.
as an ambassador for Shop Vancouver Mermaid.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I
one
also-
day we hope to meet.
I know. My gosh.
Courtney, you poo. You have to come.
Courtney, you
poo.
poo.
Courtney Pooh? Yes. Lately, we've been listening to Courtney's Scales and
podcast,
Tails.
yes.
So good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And I keep telling everyone, I'm like, you got to listen to this. Because her voice is the most relaxing.
It is.
I don't know. She has such good enunciation, I think, or something.
Well, she's
Like,
been doing this for many, many years.
does she do ASMR or whatever that stuff is called? Because she should.
yeah.
No,
She needs
I don't
to.
think so, but she's a very relaxing person.
So relaxing.
Well, and it just made me laugh because the very specific one that you had me listen to
On social media?
It was a social media, and so I had watched a couple of her videos before. And so I kind of know her style, and I was like, oh, well, I haven't listened to her podcast. This should be interesting. And on that episode in particular, she talks about how she doesn't write herself like a little script or guideline to keep to. And she says, I just want to talk because that's what I'm good at. I'm like, so you just turned off the camera.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
She just turned off the camera and just
Yeah.
kept doing what she does.
Yes.
But it
she
works,
does
and
it well.
Yeah, she does it beautifully well. Like, I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
next.
I'm just gonna do it the way I know to do it. It's like, you mean the way that that works for you?
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Yes. Continue that. Yes.
Agreed.
Well, she needs to pop on the plane with you next time for Mermagic Con.
Yeah.
And
Or,
add
you
to the
know,
Canadian group
sooner.
photo.
Yeah.
She could come down.
Because
Oh, yeah. I mean, sooner.
swimming into that, a few months after, in June I did May I finished tour. June I did a photo shoot at a river in Canada that my best friend and I have been talking about for like 3 years, so it was really good. And then in July we went to the California Mermaid Convention.
That's
so
right.
a whole bunch of us from our pod drove down, but it was very hot and we weren't used to it. So
Oh, that's funny.
but we had a pool at our Airbnb and I swam in it so much.
Wow.
And it was lovely.
That's amazing.
Did you get quite sunburned?
I was spared, but other people in my pod were not.
Oh dear.
Easy to do
dear.
in
Yeah.
California.
Yes.
So that happened in July.
Okay.
And I also went up to Pavilion Lake again for another chilly failed photo shoot. It was good in my Amathea tail, but I got to see Mermaid Amathea.
Yeah, and you got some awesome pictures from it.
Yeah, a few little ones. I did an underwater dress thing, which was cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have
It was really cold, and my face looked like this.
Oh,
So
sure.
props to you, Abby. It was very good. And yeah, then August, I was supposed to go back to the States, and then got the boot. And so then my friend Wyatt said, "Here, why don't you work at my pool for the last 2 weeks of summer?" And I did, and that was a godsend. And
so
then
nice.
I taught cute children swimming lessons, and then I got to film in my spare time. So I did a beautiful swim in my finfolk in a beautiful empty pool the end
Yeah.
of summer, which was lovely.
Oh, that's amazing. So Finfolk, had you swum in a Finfolk before that?
I had, but it was a first generation with a finfolk foil, and I'm going to directly quote my review video, which is out now.
Yes, it is.
We'll link it somewhere here
Yes.
and where you can tap it.
But yeah, I swam in a first gen finfolk, which had no drainage, and a Finnish foil, and it was a little bit too big for me, and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And then I swam in that one with the shooter, and I was like, oh, this is actually not bad at all.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a big thing that happened is I worked with finfolk this year, which
yeah.
is really good.
Super cool.
And I now realize I didn't even talk to them at the convention except for one super awkward interaction with Bryn in the bathroom. But
They were very hard to pin down as well.
they were hounded by the media. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, fancy.
Saw them very briefly.
And when you have, they had quite the setup here. It was like an Arabian wonderland.
Atlantean.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Atlantean.
Atlantis.
Yeah, yes, something like that. It was lovely. They had like this whole mermaid chair thing going on, and
Sparkly tails.
oh yeah, they had that sparkly tail.
Oh, the Swarovski crystal tails.
Yeah, so they had a big setup, so it was a big draw for people for sure.
Yeah, it was basically a big flag saying, "Come here."
Yes.
Mermaids, and we're like shiny things. Okay, okay. Yeah,
We're not actually mermaids, we're seagulls.
Yeah.
mine,
Shiny, it's mine.
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 Yes. Okay, so after Finfolk review time.
Yeah, I worked at Menchie's frozen yogurt shop.
Wow,
Oh.
that's a throwback.
It was
I
a
haven't
low
had
point in my
Menchie's
life.
in a hot second.
Actually, no, it was another blessing of a job where I was trying to figure out visa stuff and wasn't happening. And I was like, oh, all my self-identity and worth is based in my job. And here I am slugging frozen yogurt and eating too much frozen yogurt. And then I was like, why do I feel like crap? But I did get some good swims in those couple months. And then in November, I decided to not go on tour again because they said, we will make you pay for your own visa, which will be $2,000. And I said, no, I understand that as a not-for-profit, you don't have much of a budget, but I think I will pass. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And then the next day I took a job at my local mega church as the administrative assistant for the kind of facilities department. And then all of a sudden I half got promoted and now I'm like running 460 events, helping manage that per month.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Well, congratulations.
thank you. It was a surprise promotion, so I'm still doing adult job things and mermaiding things on the side, such as leaving at 2 a.m. after a full work day and going to Mermagicon.
Oh my gosh.
And basically not sleeping for 3 days.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a great sleep last night.
Oh, good.
yes.
Yeah, yes. After the gala. Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
Well,
So we got caught up.
yes, we're all caught up now. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, and we've decided, we've went through all of our segments and we're like, Merlin said the darndest things. The only connection to the mermaid world is the word Merlings, and that's
Yes.
it. So we're probably just going to cut that segment,
Okay.
FYI.
It is quite popular, and we get lots of responses to it. Everybody loves
Well,
it.
maybe you should just put it on your Instagram.
That's
Yeah.
what will happen.
Yeah.
People should follow her. People should follow her for that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
Because they do say the darndest things.
They do.
It's funny. Well, I want to know what's next for your YouTube channel and like what you doing like these days? Like what's in the works here?
Oh my goodness. Well, the biggest project that I have in mind that's coming up is a new Shop Vancouver mermaid tale.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Did you post a preview?
I did.
Okay, yes.
It's going to be good. It's going to be essentially a culmination of my orange Mako persona, which I didn't think was going to be a thing, but is now a thing, and my galaxy persona. And it's going to be mixed into a beautiful Shop Vancouver mermaid tale, which I'm pretty sure is going to use Linden.
We love Linden.
Yes, I do too. So that was my thought. So that's like the big thing that I'm super excited about. So hopefully sometime we're going to get 2020 Mermaid Faith and
Okay.
eventually a new silicone tail from Amathea with the same design, but that's not for a while.
Right.
And yeah, just like continuing making YouTube videos and I'm, considering there's a few other mermaid gatherings and conventions that I'm like, oh, this was fun. I should do it again.
Which ones?
Well, the Mega Fest, which is coming up fairly soon.
You mean Merfest International?
Yes. Oh, right. They changed their name.
Yes.
Merfest International. That's coming up soon. I'm excited for it. And
That one will be in Michigan?
yeah.
South Haven, Michigan. Yeah, it was Mermaid Mega Fest, and now it's Merfest International 2020.
And is that closer to you?
Moderately. And I do know like some people in Michigan and stuff, so that's good.
Perfect.
And then there's the California Mermaid Convention again, which I hope to make it to. Not sure if I can swing doing the whole road trip thing again this year, because
Right.
that took like a week.
Yeah. That's
Well,
a
it was
lot of
like
driving.
2 days in the car, 2 days on the way back, and then the 3 days of the convention.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hefty.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Maybe just fly over.
Maybe.
Okay, so you competed in there are so many things going on at Mermagicon, but one of the things is called the Merlympics. And so you competed in the Merlympics. Tell us how you did.
All right. Well, last year when I went, I arrived a bit late to the convention because I was being driven in a U-Haul from North Carolina. And
As one does.
Yeah. Tour. And so I saw that in the next day that Mermaid Michelle, the beautiful, who's also a super smart lawyer chick, and is like a really fast competitive swimmer. I saw in the dive well last year, she was competing for the finalist, and she's like, I want to win. And like her drive was so inspiring. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, I wish I could have done that because that looks fun. And so this year I'm like, I'm going to do it. So I did the prelims, and I made it because I crushed it.
Of course.
And then I did the first round of the second half, like the finals, and that went pretty well because I was in my mahina, which goes nyum. And then because of the whole silicone tail issue, I didn't want to take it off because I love it, and it's a pain to put back on.
Yeah.
And so I did the second half in my silicone. And all the while, Mermaid Michelle is also in there, and we're like bantering and stuff, and we're talking, and I'm like saying like, oh man, you're so good at swimming, and we're talking back and forth about stuff, and I did the last bit in my silicone, which was probably not enough, but apparently someone said to me, they said, oh, you got second place, and I was like, oh, that's great, awesome, I'm really happy with that, and. So the closing ceremonies happen, and they say, in third place was this other girl who I met doing the Merlympics. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. And then it's like, and in second place is Madison Kelly, who, shout out, is one of my patrons, DigiMer.
Hey, girl.
And then they're like, and in first place is Mermaid Michelle. And I was like, well, of course it is. I'm like, but I thought I was in second.
Yeah, we thought you were in second place.
Yeah, okay. But I was like, yay. And I turned off my camera. I'm like, oh, that's embarrassing. I had my Canada flag ready and everything.
Been there, girl. I've been there. Award shows and stuff.
Yeah. And then they say, oh, but she's decided to forfeit her prize to Nerdmaid Faith in second place. And I'm like,
gosh. And what was the prize?
So the prize was a FinFun limited edition's tail.
Ooh.
And so I went to the booth and I said, okay. And I picked one out because the only one I want is one that's discontinued, which is a bummer. But I picked out one that's very pretty, and maybe I'll like give it to a podmate or something.
Yeah.
And then they were like, here, have a monofin. I said, no, I have a monofin. And they said, okay, we'll give you some leggings. So I got some leggings.
Okay.
I now have like
Solid compromise.
way too many pairs. And then I also got a beautiful crown from Fins and Seashells.
Ooh.
It was, actually, Justine, you want to pull it out of my bag?
Yeah.
It's in the little.
Show us.
It's in the little pink Wonderland Arts bag.
Us the
I wanna know.
Just
Can
hold-
you show me?
crying. I received this crown upon my head.
Oh my
Look
gosh.
at this. It's so fancy.
It's the fanciest.
I think I'm just going to display this in my room with my
Yeah.
like super lame certificate of doing college and like top technical theater student, my little sad wall of achievements, along with this and my certificate from the Singapore Mermaids class.
Oh yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
It's laminated.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So exciting. Wow. Well, this has been amazing. I mean, mermazing here with you, Faith. We just love you. We do.
That's true.
And I need you to go ahead and just move to the United States of America.
No.
Fine. I need you to visit us more.
Or you can visit me.
Yeah. Well, that's on the list of things to do.
Yes.
It's
Good.
on the list.
Yay.
My thing is, it's so cold. So, like, when do we come?
Well, actually, Richard, the underwater merman,
Yes, we
he
love
is
him.
coming to visit me in June, I
Oh,
believe. So,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Justine came and visited in June. It was a good time.
That's
so,
a good time. Okay.
Yeah, June.
Well,
June's
okay.
a good time.
Let's work on that, Lauren. We'll work on that. Okay, great. Well, where, I'm sure most of our listeners know, but where can we find you on social media?
At Nerdmaid Faith on everything, YouTube, especially. I'm so close to 20K. Probably by the time this gets out, I'll be at 20K. But yeah, it's an exciting milestone.
Yes. All right. So everyone follow her on social media at Nerdmaid Faith. And you can follow us at Everyday Mermaid Podcast on Instagram. And you can swim over. Swim over
Hang glide over.
to patreon.com/everydaymermaid for exclusive goodies we do not share anywhere else. Ooh.
You could hang
got
10
it.
over to our Patreon. So.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice
That's
recovery.
good. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Faith, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me again. So
And-
happy.
Yes. And we will.
See you on the flip side.
Bye,
Bye. Guess what? This is actually a Long Island iced tea. I decided to.
Okay. Well, everyone, this is Nerdmaid Faith, and hold on.
Good job, Abby. That's good.
Yes, it is.
I'm trying to close it out. Okay. I'm so tired.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault.
No, it's not. It's not.